like it's summer vacation or something. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, July 11th, 2018. My name is Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. As I like to say, if you have a code enforcement issue, you are in the right place. First thing we're going to do is swear everyone in. So everyone's going to raise their right hand, and they're going to say, "I do," when we're done, especially the people in the back. Does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Everyone does. And we'll always have a stray come in later, so I'll probably have to swear them in too. Most of tonight's hearings will either be violation hearings or fine assessment hearings. In those cases, the process will be as follows. The village will call the case. You will go over to that podium over there. The village will show me some documents so I can show that they have service. Then they'll show the documents to you. They'll present their side of the case, and then you get to tell me what your side is. That flips when it gets to the fine reduction hearings. Those people have been through the violation and the fining process, and they're asking for relief, so they get to go first, and the village will respond. I think I've covered all my bases. Please take it away, Village of Royal Palm Beach.
Sure thing. Amity Barnard, Assistant Village Attorney. We're going to start on the agenda. Fine assessment hearings on page 2 near the bottom, case 18-0421, 764 Camellia Drive, Yajara Lobo.
All right. Whoever's on that case gets to go up to the podium. No one wants to be first?
You, 764.
Sorry for the mispronunciation.
Okay. All right. Miscellaneous items in carport.
Tina Foley, Code Inspector for the Village of Royal Palm. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. Well, you have an affidavit of service. So you have service, and you can proceed. Just going to look quickly at that. All right. Please show these to the respondent. Senor Lobo.
Can you state your name for the record for me, please, sir?
It's Nathaniel Arriaza.
Can you spell your last name?
It's ARRIAZ.
And your relationship to the property?
It's my wife.
Okay, thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence.
Right.
I'm going to show them to you and then ask you if you have any objections to them at the end. The first is the affidavit of service for the notices. This is the green card that came back returned. For the order finding violation is exhibit 1. Proof of ownership from the property appraiser website is exhibit 2.
Right.
Exhibit 3 is photograph of the violation. And exhibit 4 is an affidavit of compliance. Do you have any objection to these documents?
Well,
Just to the documents, you can speak to the magistrate after, just any of these documents. Do you have any objections to these specific documents?
no.
Okay.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, I see we have an affidavit of compliance, so this won't be anything like a continuing fine. Ooh, how long is it out?
It was out of compliance for 11 days, so we'd be asking for a fine in the amount of $275 and not continuing.
All right. Mr. Ariza, what's the response of this property as to the miscellaneous items in carport?
Well, we has been having some trouble in the house with mold remediation, and we filed this with the insurance company. We claim, and we has been living out of the property for 4 months, me and my family, in a hotel. So, I have just the time to go work and come back. My wife, she have a liver disease. So she have no, like really good strength to do everything around the house. I'm the only responsible for it. But I'm the one maintaining the house and trying to pay, catch up with the bills with my property and pay the hotel and all that. So, I was going crazy, and probably when they were doing a remediation or something, they moved some stuff out. And I was moving from, I work in Belgley and the sugar mills. So I drive from there to the hotel because I start working like 4 o'clock, 4:45. And then I come back home and we were on, it's a hotel right there by Palm Beach Lake and 95. So mostly I don't have the chance to stop by the house and, check it out because I have to keep, mostly doing everything with my family. So we has been struggling with that for a long time.
Okay. Well, from my perspective, it's kind of easy. You have cleaned it up, so you only have an 11 days worth of fines that I can levy. And it's only $25 a day, so that comes out to $275. You need to get through your experience with your insurance company, and then you can come back and ask for the fine to be reduced because you had to move out, and you'll tell me the remediation story again then. And that's when I can do something about it.
Yeah.
Because if I would have heard about this during the violation hearing part of it, I probably would have tried to give you more time to clean it up, but I didn't get that opportunity. So right now, I'm kind of stuck with the 11 days of the 25.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm not really good with legal issues, like I'm even struggling with the language, and my wife is normally the one who take care of everything.
Okay, well, this $275 fine, if this is your house, your homestead property, it can be paid someday in the future or never. It doesn't really matter, because if it's a homestead property, the village can't foreclose on it. They can just put the lien on there. And the lien's only for $275. And like I said, later on, you can ask to have it reduced based upon the situation and your problems with the mold and the insurance company. But right now, I'm kind of stuck with it took them 11 days to get it verified that it was cleaned up, so it's $275. But they can't really do anything with that. You don't have to pay it now. You don't have to really be concerned about it until you either come back or you sell the property.
Right. So, I understand. But, I thought it was, I'm going to get some help out of it, because I have no response.
It's we're at different steps in the process. And right now, at the step in the process, you don't even have a fine for me to remediate yet until I order this. So I have to order the fine. The order has to be signed, then you can ask for it to be reduced because you had problems because you couldn't be there because of the mold problem and, the remediation issues. Yeah. And then I'll listen to you then, and I probably will.
It's crazy because we don't even have response from the insurance, We have to pay everything.
I can tell you right now, if you look at a blue tarp around the village, 50% of the time is someone fighting with an insurance company over a roof damage.
Right.
So we get the insurance. I get attorneys in here all the time. They have to sue the insurance companies to get them to even talk to them.
Right.
So hopefully you will get your place fixed. This fine is stopped. Just try to keep them, from putting things out. At least putting things out where people can see it.
All right.
Okay. $275, no continuing.
Thank you, sir. Moving next to the
How
top of
much is
page
it?
3.
It's $275. And you, like I said, if it's your homestead property, there's nothing they can do. You can pay it at your leisure. You can pay it when you sell it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Top of page 3, case 18-0491-10289, Carmen Lane, Thaylord and Vanessa Marsai.
Okay.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have an affidavit of service, so you have service and can proceed.
The Lord Marseille.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. The first is affidavit of service for the order finding violation and the mailing that was returned undeliverable. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violations. Do you have any objection to these documents, sir?
No.
Thank you, sir.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, I had no problem seeing the driveway pictures. Where's the stump?
It's right in the middle of the yard.
And my screen here is just all fuzzy too, so.
Okay, let me-
Oh, there we go.
You-
Look
do you
over at
see
this
it?
one. Yeah, I can see it now over
Okay.
here. The roof looks new, but then I
Yeah, he
can see
said
the
the
stump.
tree fell down during the hurricane. I spoke with him today, so he's gonna take care of it.
Okay. All right, so,
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so we'd be asking for a fine in the amount of $325 and continuing.
all right, Mr. Marseille, they say you have a tree stump that needs to be removed and you need to clean your driveway.
Yeah, I removed most of it already. It's just a little bit that's on the ground. I didn't know it was a little problem, but I removed it.
Okay, and when you remove it, you need to call the code enforcement officer so she can go out there and look and stop any fines from running.
Yes.
Because in your case, there will be a fine running. And you want to stop those things because, you know, that way you can be done with it and you can ask for a reduction if you want. So we have the driveway too. You need to have that pressure cleaned or clean it somehow.
Somehow I didn't see that on the paper. I was focused on
The tree stump.
no, not the tree. The tree I didn't know anything about.
Oh, okay, something else.
The fence. I fixed the fence.
Right, there were a lot of problems with fences after Irma.
He has a second case on the agenda.
Okay.
That's what he thought the whole thing was about. And he fixed the fence, so that was gonna be a finding of fact.
Okay,
But,
so this one, we
Well,
did,
this started out with, several different things, and some things were taken care of, but not the
it's down to
driveway,
the
so-
two, it'll be down to one. And for everyone in the room, one of the only bold parts of these orders that I sign is you have to call the code enforcement officer to have them do an inspection so they can put a date on when it was fixed
Right.
and stop the fines.
I
So as
usually
soon-
call when
So
I
call her
finish mine.
as soon as you need to rent or borrow a pressure cleaner. I own my own because I got tired of paying people, so. All right, 325 plus continuing,
Yes, sir.
it's granted. So yeah, call them as soon as it's done and we can stop the fine and then you can come back and ask to have it reduced. Okay?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Staying on the same page, a little bit down, 18.
Well, actually, does he have another case that's gonna turn into a finding of fact? Should we just dispose of that? Yeah, just hang out up there. This next case, you fixed it in time. So all they're gonna say is, keep your fence fixed.
It's the bottom of page 7,
Bottom of page 7, I'll
the
call this
violation hearing
2A.
case, 18-0877-10289 Carmen Lane, Thaylord and Vanessa Marsai.
Okay, this is my 2A case, he's been sworn, and she's pulling the file and has it in her hand. We just have to wait for a little walk. All right, so you have service, he had a fence and he fixed it, and you have an affidavit of,
We gotta get it all.
yeah, she's gonna read it in, I can't.
Code
I can't
section
leap
9.4,
past.
fence in disrepair. I observed this on 5/2/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/3/18 and were signed for on 5/8/18. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All
Exhibit
right.
4, affidavit of compliance.
You have a signed green card, so you have service, you have an affidavit of compliance, but she's still gonna show you everything. Don't let me try to
The
shorten
Lord
these things
Marcel.
up.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing with the signed green card and the notice of violation.
Not yet.
Exhibit 2, proof of
Not yet.
ownership from the property
Just
on the
working on it.
website. And Exhibit 3,
No, it's
photographs of
Florida, it's not
violation.
hot.
and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Admitted without objection, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now you're done with everything.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much, sir. Have a good
All right,
evening.
thank you.
All right, that was 2A. Now, we have anything else on page 2?
Yes.
Good. Okay, back to where we were.
We're actually back to 3.
Okay, back to 3, where we were.
Case
Sorry.
18-0451, 219 Bob White Road, Maria L. Woodson.
Margaret Hancock, Code Inspector for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information.
Okay. You have service via posting. You can proceed.
So we'll leave it. You read it? Can you state your name for the record, ma'am?
Maria Woodson.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the order finding violation. Second page of the order. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from a property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents?
No objections.
Thank you.
Give us 1 minute. We're looking up your permit file so they
No
can
problem.
confirm something. They seem interesting in confirming.
2, 15. Is that 16? That's right. She can take ownership of the home until 17. Huh? So, needs to stay on that.
Okay, so we confirmed everything we said is correct. Everything
Okay.
that was read into the record. Nothing, we were gonna remove a code section, but, it's in fact still an outstanding violation.
That's fine. Show her the docs. Or you did.
I did. She
Okay,
didn't have any
so-
objections.
All right, so you say they have a fence up without a permit, you don't show a permit on your AS 400 permit sheet, other
Correct.
than the
There was fence,
2016 permit for the
Pavers,
fence?
Yeah.
And that predates her ownership of the property, and it's not the same fence, so.
All right,
So she still
There's
needs-
a permit that's been filed and it's ready to be picked up. I just have to file my notice of commencement with the county. I received a telephone call from the code enforcement office that it was ready to be picked up.
For which permit?
It was the pavers and the fence. It was both on the same
I just
permit
still see it's in
application.
plan check.
I received a telephone call saying they're ready to be picked up anytime. I just have to go file my notice of commencement.
That may be possible, but you still also need the permit for the addition, back
Correct.
room.
Yes, and I did call and ask if I could have an extension on that. The person who did the work has not been returning my calls, and I've tried 2 other people to get them to come out and do the specs for me. So I did call and ask for an extension, and I was told I had to come here and ask for the extension.
okay.
But she still needs another permit.
All right, so what's going on? She has permits that are,
There's other
Still in
work
violation.
without a permit.
So we're taking this off? No, okay.
all right, what work is there without a permit?
What work is there? She installed pavers, she installed a new fence, and then she did work on a back room addition that she still has not got the permit for that.
Okay, so it's the back room edition.
I have old pictures in here if you need to look at it for
That's
reference.
fine, I just needed to know what was, because it sounded like she had part of it applied for, and it was, you know, according to her, ready to be picked up. We still have a problem
Right,
with
and she still has
the
that,
back room permit.
correct.
Got it.
Correct. Unfortunately, the previous owners did work outside of what the original permit was for that area. I was not aware of that when I purchased the property, which, you know, that's my problem, not yours. I understand that. So now I have to go back and I have to get a permit. I need to get someone to write out the specs
You need
and
to have
certify the
someone do-
work that was done prior to me just,
Got it.
Putting
So
up
you gotta have
windows.
someone basically come in behind the people who built
Correct.
it and
so yes.
make sure it's up to spec and that it was done properly and
Correct.
things like that. All right, so what does the village want to do with this one?
The difficulty is that we're at the fine assessment stage of this, so
I
she had a
understand.
compliance date, and that was not complied with by the required date, which was 6/28.
Correct, and I did call asking for an extension because I didn't feel I was going to be able to meet that date. And again, I was told that it was not something that could be granted over the telephone. It was something that I actually had to show up here for this hearing.
Yeah, because I already have an order by the special magistrate.
Gotcha.
and that's
No,
what
I
told
understand
you.
where you're coming from, Margaret. Totally
So
understand.
If we can reset this for the 8/8 status/fine assessment hearing.
That would be wonderful. Status fine. And that gives her another month to get her permit applied for at least, and come out on the others too.
And if you want, you can write a letter and he can show up at the next
He can come
hearing and you wouldn't have to show up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Just so that he can speak on your behalf.
Okay, I apologize. It's for medical reasons. I apologize.
No problem. All right, so we're resetting it
Yeah,
to
if we-
August 8th for a status/fine assessment
Yeah, if we
hearing.
could establish new compliance dates though, so if we could backdate that
Tell
2
me-
days,
tell
so
me.
comply by 8/6.
8688
Correct,
or $25 fine
correct.
and or nothing if it's done. So we'll
Correct.
figure it all out by then.
So August 6th,
August 6th is when everything's supposed to be done.
done, completely done. Okay,
Well,
I understand.
by done means your permits have to be issued. They don't
In
have to
and
be.
filed, and I have to pick them up and everything.
They have to be printed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, and
I
once that
understand.
happens, you go away from the code enforcement department. You're now in the building department. You get 6 months, I believe, to finish your construction, get it inspected, and then you're
Gotcha.
done.
Okay, I understand.
Otherwise, it'll come back to code
Do
enforcement.
this all over again. Gotcha. No, thank you.
Okay.
I mean, I
All
like
right.
you guys, but like, really, thank you very much.
had
I
enough
appreciate
fun.
your time. Thank
All
you.
right, take care.
All right, thank you.
Next, anything more on page 3, or are we moving
No,
on?
sir, moving to page 4, we're in repeat violation hearings, 18-1111, 264 La Mancha Avenue, IH4 Property, Florida LP.
Okay,
Gail McLean, Code Enforcement for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. Would like to enter into evidence. This is Code Section 1557 and 2318 B2, I'm sorry. This is a repeat violation for high grass and weeds and the boat parked on the lawn. I observed this violation on 6/7/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, previous orders of showing that finding of fact was found on the property. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, pictures.
all right, you have a signed green card, you have a service. That was a weird place to park a boat.
Can you state your name, sir, for the record?
Sure, Ryan Finlayson for IH4 Property, Florida.
And you're the property manager, is that correct? Thank
Correct.
you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the signed green card, the notice of hearing for the repeat violation, and the notice of repeat violation. Exhibit 2 is the order finding violation. 2 of them. Exhibit 3, proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 4 is photographs of the violations. Any objection to these documents?
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I assume one of your tenants parked the boat in a really weird place.
Yeah, apparently it's normally on the side of the house, back where it's supposed to be. When I went the other day, it was parked where it should be, so it's in compliance now.
Yeah, I don't know why. That would just be a hard place to park it if you were backing in. It's just strange, but how many days?
This was out of compliance for 34 days, so we'd be asking for a fine in the amount of $3,400 and not continuing. It was a $100 a day fine in the previous order. This is a repeat violation.
Yeah. Not much I can do. You know, I hope you have a good lease that passes these things on to the tenant.
We do.
Good. 3,400, no continuing is granted.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Staying on the same page, a couple cases down, 18-1163, 123 Granada Street, Juniper Road Properties LLC.
The code sections are 1557, 15132, and 6190A. These are repeat violations for high grass and weeds, dead palm fronds, and drive sidewalk and structure stained. I observed these violations on 6/18/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, previous orders finding violation. Exhibit 3, affidavit of compliance. Exhibit 4, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 5, pictures.
finally get rain and everything grows. A little artsy there, but a little angle of that photograph. All right, you have a signed green card. You can proceed.
Thank you. Can you state your name for the record, sir?
I'm Martin Gerber.
And your relation to the property?
I'm the owner of Juniper Road Properties.
Thank you, sir.
Are you the managing member of the LLC?
Yes, sir.
Ah, see.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1,
You were not an officer in LLC.
notice of repeat violation, notice of hearing, signed green card. This is exhibit 2.
Can I hold this for a second?
We need to know what your objection, if any, are to the documents.
I have no objection. I just want to refer to it.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
He's holding on to the order assessment.
That's
Fine.
that's fine. Fine. So we have pictures of the violations that I've seen.
Correct. It was repeat violation for a total of 5 days at $100 a day, so we'd be asking for a fine of $500 and not continuing.
All right, Mr. Gerber.
Yes, sir. It's my understanding that in accordance with the village's ordinance, if an individual or an entity has a code violation and a second code violation within a period of 5 years, that is considered a repeat violation. If that is the case, then this is a repeat violation. But in reality, it is not. If you look at this document, the previous violation is at 134 Sevilla Avenue. The current violation is at 123 Granada Street. And here's the situation. In fact, I appeared before you back in November of 2014. At that time, we evicted a tenant from a rental house at 134 Sevilla. And of course, when you evict tenants, rarely do they leave the place in good order. There were a number of code violations that existed when we finally evicted that tenant, all of which were remediated, and you did grant me relief at that time from the total that was assessed. Recently, we evicted a tenant from a rental house at 123 Granada Street, and once again, the tenant in being evicted did not leave the premises in good order. After taking possession, it was necessary for us to accomplish the remedial action necessary. And if you notice, we did do this quite expeditiously, as the violation is for 5 days, 6 days? 5 days. So after we took possession, we realized the situation, and it took us a period of time to hire people to take care of the landscaping and to do the pressure washing, which we did. We have hired people to continue taking care of this residence. And at this time, I ask that these penalties and fines be abated, as I think we were judicious in complying.
All right, well, I think she's actually enjoying the fact she has a legal argument here. Yeah, so there's a question of whether or not this is a repeat violation for the same property.
It's for a different property, but the village's position is the same. It's the same owner.
So, and you're telling me now that under the village's code that if an owner has a violation on, say, property 134 and the next one is 123, that is considered a repeat?
Correct.
Okay, I just want to see it somewhere, or actually you need to show it to him, because
Well, I'm not arguing the legality.
No, I'm just...
The factual pattern is just, I think, different than what was intended in the code.
Well, unfortunately, I'm sort of bound by the code, so.
And the state statute.
And the state statute, which overrides the code, so they're gonna tell me, or actually, they're gonna tell you, more likely, why it does.
As he just admitted, it's not a legal argument.
It's not a legal argument.
And he's
that-
admitted to the
That
repeat
under the
violation.
statute, that if you have,
Correct.
and I can tell you, I see a lot of people who have, 123 Granada Street LLC. So they have all separate corporations. So, because I do know, just off the top of my head, that if you had Juniper Road properties here and this property was fined, that the lien would spread to the other Juniper Road properties in town. And you also acknowledge that, sir?
And to any other property owned by the same
Right,
respondent.
Juniper Road properties. So, that kind of goes along with their argument that it goes to the owner, not the address. So could you respond to their response, or are we done?
Well, I'm not an attorney.
Right,
I'm only asking for a code of fairness.
unfortunately, fairness usually comes at the end, and right now we're in the middle, and there's nothing to remediate until I sign this order. So we'll have to do the fairness part later.
Correct.
So if it's 5 days at $100 a day, it's $500. When I sign the order, then you have something to ask to be reduced.
Pardon me?
When I sign the order with the $500 fine, then you have the opportunity to ask for a reduction. Right at this point, it's sort
And
of
when can I do that?
You can do that at any meeting subsequent to the order being signed by asking them to place you on an agenda.
He has, there's a form he has to fill out 10, I have to have it 10 business days before the next hearing.
Talk to the code enforcement department. They'll tell you how to ask for a reduction. It's a fairly simple process. I think there's even a form where you barely do anything.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, $500 is granted, no continuing, and I'll probably see you later.
Thank you. Moving to the top of page 5, 18-1224, 2254 Ridgewood Court, John F. and Nancy B. Short.
Okay. Number 6.
The code section is 14.4A, disabled unregistered vehicle. This is a repeat violation. I observed this violation on 6/22/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation, Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, Exhibit 4, picture, and Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, you have a signed green card, you have service. I was trying to guess at the car, but I don't have enough detail to figure it out.
Sir?
What kind of ride?
Short.
Can you speak into the microphone?
John F. Short Jr.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence.
Okay.
Exhibit 1 is the notice of repeat violation, the notice of hearing, signed green card is on the front. There we go.
Okay.
Repeat violation. Exhibit 2, the certified mailing receipt, signed green card for the order finding violation, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3 is an affidavit of compliance. Exhibit 4, proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 5, photographs of the violation, the repeat violation. Any objection to these documents?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, so how long was this in violation?
I don't believe it.
I'll have to hear from them or first.
Yeah, a total of 7 days at $50 a day, so the fine is $350 and not continuing.
All right, Mr. Short, tell me about your vehicle. What kind
Yes,
of car
sir.
is it?
First of all, it's not a disabled vehicle. The vehicle is fully functionable, runs. There's nothing wrong with the car at all. It's a Mazda RX-7.
Okay.
It's a sports car. And the only reason it was in the driveway, which I didn't think is a violation of me taking the car out of the garage, putting it in the driveway to get my roof fixed, and then putting it back at night and taking it out the next day. So I don't know how I'm in violation of taking my own vehicle out of my driveway and putting it out of my garage and into my driveway.
All right, you're
I thought
not
it couldn't stay there for more than 24 hours.
All right, you're not in violation as long as the car is in the garage. Okay? Is it tagged?
It's tagged in Louisiana. My plate was stolen when I drove it to Florida back in 2016.
Well, it's been 2 years.
I understand, but it's not being a daily driver. It's a,
Okay, here's the deal.
yes, sir.
If you have a vehicle that's untagged, which yours is because it hasn't been registered in Florida or you haven't gotten your Louisiana tag on that vehicle, then it is allowed to be stored in your garage for an unlimited period of time.
Yes,
Once
sir.
you bring it out of your garage and you put it into your driveway, it's supposed to be not only operable, but it's also supposed to be licensed, which means it has to have a tag on it. So when you're bringing it out and you're putting it in the driveway, that's the violation. It can stay in the garage forever. But once you start parking it on the driveway, it becomes a problem. Is that correct?
Yes, it has to display a current registration to be in public view. Otherwise, it has to be kept in the garage.
And that's where it is being kept. It was moved out to get my roof fixed from the hurricane because the water came through the roof and it's going through the garage and it's coming
Understood.
down. So it wasn't left out. It was moved out during the day so that the roofing people could get there and then put back.
But every time you moved it out during the day, that was a violation.
I wasn't aware that it was a violation of moving my vehicle out of my garage onto my carport. I mean, my
The
driveway.
problem is untagged. Your untagged vehicle out of your garage onto the driveway.
Yes, sir.
That's the problem. It's not the fact that it runs. And I'm a car guy. I love me some cars.
You love this one, then.
I have a 68 Jeep. I have an 87 Mustang. I have collector car insurance.
Right.
Greatest deal in the world. I get 2 cars fully covered for a year for $308.
Yeah, that is a good deal.
I mean, the tags are antique. They're only like $60 a year. It's-
Right. Well, I had a personalized tag that was stolen. It said RX-7 on it and it was
Well,
stolen.
but the problem is you never, if you would have had that Louisiana tag updated or gotten it replaced,
Yes, sir.
they wouldn't have an argument.
No, the original violation was for that car with an expired Louisiana tag on it.
See? So the problem is when you either got to tag it or you got to leave it in the garage.
Right.
You can't put it in the driveway, even for a few hours, and then the few hours is the time the gale drove by.
Right.
So
Going forward, I still have roof problems that need to be rectified. I need to know what to do because they can't work on top of the car inside of my house.
well, it has to go somewhere else, or
I believe Linda
That,
just.
that would entail moving it out of the garage onto the driveway if I move it. I don't want to be in violation of
she was
moving
about to
it.
say,
Linda
Linda-
discussed that with your wife yesterday, and I'm not sure exactly how the discussion went because it was a phone conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll have to talk to Linda tomorrow, but
Okay.
I will call your wife tomorrow or have Linda call her.
Either or will be fine.
okay, but we're stuck with the 7 days problem. And I'm, once again, I am stuck in the position where we have a violation. It's $50 a day. It's a $350 fine, but it's not continuing. And if it's your homestead property, like I said, it's just going to sit there for a while until you decide to either reduce it or pay it or sell your house and someone else will pay it.
Okay, thank you.
$350, no continuing.
Moving now to the violation hearing section of the agenda, at the bottom of page 7. Oh, nope, we already did that one. Top of page,
We're not gonna hear 1412.
yep, middle of page 8, 18-0923. Yep, middle of page 8, 18-0923, common property, the Estates of Royal Palm Beach HOA, Inc.
Okay. 180293. Got it. What number are we here?
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Excuse me. The code section is 9.3. The description is chain link fences in disrepair. Observe this on 5/15/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/16/18, and I have actual service. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, so you have service by hand delivery. You have a fence that's leaning.
It is in compliance. I don't have an affidavit of compliance
Okay,
yet.
so is this a finding of fact?
Yes, it will be.
After you show everyone documents, because I can't jump the line here. Please identify yourself for the record.
Rachel King,
Spell your last name, Rachel.
K-I-N-G,
Your
It's so
relation to
easy.
the,
And you are? a
employed
prop-
by Signature Association, which manages
You're a
Which
property
one?
manager.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thanks.
Property manager.
These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
Nope.
Finding of fact is granted. See, I'm allowed now.
Yeah.
All right, you're done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next.
Staying on the same page, 18-0941, 11763 Balsam Drive, Alexander PJ and Jacqueline E. Henry.
Code Section 14-4A, 15-132, and 06-190D. Vehicles do not move every 30 days. Disabled vehicles. Weeds are growing over the sidewalk and in hedges. Planting areas are overgrown. I observed this on 5/16/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 5/16/18 and were posted. Would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Oh, that one isn't. Okay, you have an affidavit of service, you can proceed. Sir, you are?
Alexander Henry.
Thank you.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing. The green card that was returned, or the mailing, excuse me, that was returned. Notice of hearing, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violation.
What bush are you talking about? Is it this?
He's asking, Dina, on this photo, which, I don't know if is this a photo of the vegetation issue?
Yes, in the front yard.
Oh, those are herbs.
Let me see.
The planter is overgrown with grass.
No, it's not. Those are herbs.
Yeah, all in here
Okay.
and all over here and all these bushes in there.
Oh,
On
these
here.
these are herbs. It's
And this-
tea bush.
And this planter, and then under the windowsill here, and then these.
Yeah, I trim up the yard, but these are herbs that I plant.
Okay, we can get more to the merits in a
All right.
second. Last one, do you have any objection to these documents?
This one here, the red car. This one.
This one?
Yeah. Somebody was to come and get it, and he delayed. That's why it was still, but it's not there anymore.
Okay, he's objecting to a couple of the photographs.
Admitted without objection, or admitted over objection, so we'll get to the, we'll
Okay.
get to the story behind the car. The red one's almost old enough to be cheaply insured, but if it's getting rid of it, it's not a problem. These are violation hearings, so you're gonna have time to cure these problems.
Yeah, I did take care of many of them.
Well-
Only that the red car was delayed because
Yeah, well, the red car's an old Sentra. How old is that one?
it's 98.
Yeah, it's too new. Okay. See, I have 68s. Those are much easier to insure cheaply. All right, so we have a vehicle that doesn't move every 30 days, but he's going to take care of that. The disabled vehicle, we're just talking about the BMW, the white one without the tag that's expired.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, I went back out there yesterday for re-inspection, and actually it was worse than it was before. And this is after I talked to you. You moved the red car, brought up the white car with no tag, and now, well, I'll go into that later, but you can't have the disabled vehicles there. Now the white car in front is in disrepair. It doesn't have a tag on it. The red car, the tag is expired.
The red car is not there anymore.
Okay,
It's
well, you're
gone.
going to have some time to fix that. She's going to go look to confirm that the red car's gone. So that's one down out of 3.
It's still the code, though, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but, and then you have the problems with the Sentra, the white one, that doesn't seem to have a tag on it at all. And then the BMW that had the tag that was expired, in 2017. So that leaves you with two problem vehicles, and then the planters. And
The planters they take care of as well too.
my family was out weeding this weekend, and it took us 2 or 3 hours to do all of our planters, and it was no fun, but it's just something we have to do.
The planters that they speak of is herbs that I planted there. I use them.
Well, I understood, but it has to be maintained somehow. We mulched
Yes,
it. and
maintained.
we-
You have high grass through the hedges and in the front.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can come out
Well-
to your property.
Yeah, you could come tomorrow and look, because it's I had weed up around it.
All right, well, you're gonna get time, so what time are you planning to give
You'll
him?
be asking for compliance by August 30th, or the 9/12 fine assessment hearing, or a $50 a day fine.
I also called and was requesting another extension time.
Well, you're
to-
getting till the end of August to fix this. So that gives you this month and the end of next month, till the end of next month. And the problem you have is the guy before you had a garage, so he could move at least one of his cars or more than one into the garage and they would comply. You unfortunately, I don't think have a garage, at least in the pictures I saw. So you have to you just need to have the tags up to date, or the cars need to be removed from the property because there's nowhere to store it that would be
Yeah.
legal because of the lack of the garage. And you have until the end of August, August 30th, to do that. Now, Dina's going to come by in the next day or two just to look at the red one to make sure it's gone.
Yes, the red one is gone. Actually, I was trying to sell the
And actually,
BMW.
why don't you just call her when you're done with the red one gone and the planters taken care of, so you're really down to only the cars, and then she can come back when you've dealt with those. If you get the tags renewed, it's fine.
Okay.
You're in compliance. But if you don't renew the tags, they have to go somewhere.
Okay, actually, I was trying to sell the BMW.
And you have a
So
month
that's
and a-
why,
You have a month and a half to do that, as it stands with this order I'm going to sign, because you have to be in compliance by August 30th.
Correct.
So if you aren't in compliance by August 30th, you're going to come to the September 12th code enforcement hearing and face a $50 a day fine. If you've got it down to most of these things are cured, the fine will probably be less. But if you get everything cured, you call them up and you tell them, there will be no fine at all.
okay.
Okay, so just work on the planters and the grass, get the red car out of there, try to sell your
Yeah,
BMW.
it's gone already. Yeah.
And you still have to do something with the white Sentra, though. It needs a
Yeah.
tag or something.
Okay, I'm trying to get it moving, yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll sign that order.
Okay, also, if you could explain a repeat, because I just don't want him to.
Yeah, and
get
if this
and-
happens again, you have another car there that doesn't have a tag on it, it could be a totally separate car, but it will be a repeat violation. You don't get the extra 10 days to move it. So, try to keep the vehicles that you store there tagged
Tagged, okay.
and operating, okay?
All right.
839-1250 is granted.
Thank you.
Next,
Top of page 9, 18-1007, 1181 Grandview Circle, Joan Pinkston.
Code sections 2318 B2D, 1557, 14.2, and 9.4. Restricted trailer in public view, grass and weeds exceeds height allowed, miscellaneous items and fences in disrepair. I observed this on 5/21/18. The notice violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 5/22/18 and were signed for on 5/29/18. We would like to enter the following into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing; Exhibit 2, verification of ownership; and Exhibit 3, verification of ownership.
all right, you have a signed green card, you can proceed. Ma'am, your name is? You are Joan Pinkston?
Yes.
Thank you.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation, and the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations.
Okay. What is this?
A photograph of the violation.
What violation there?
This is the same, just a different date.
Oh, okay.
the same fence
The
section.
wooden fence,
Yes.
yeah. We're working on that. This, it would cost $200 to take this to the dump, so.
Okay, we'll get
okay.
there. Hold on just one
Okay.
second. Any objection to these documents?
No,
Thank you, ma'am. Now you can speak to the magistrate.
okay.
Okay, so we have a series of violations. I think the worst one's the restricted trailer in public view. And then you have some other smaller ones, grass and weeds, miscellaneous items, and I guess the wooden fence is in disrepair.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Pinkston, you agree that you have a trailer there that's full of stuff that?
Yeah, we tried to remove it, but it cost $200 to take it to the dump and get rid of it. I've been out of work for 4 months. I had 2 surgeries on my leg. My son isn't working. He has no vehicle, and he's trying to work on it. We finally got a weed eater because the side where the wooden fence is, it's all overgrown with weeds, so we had to start working on that before he could take the fence down. So he's working on that right now. The tree in the front yard, he cut back. It was over. They said it was over the sidewalk.
Okay, well, they took that one off.
Pardon me?
They removed that as a violation. So.
And we pressure cleaned the house and we pressure cleaned the driveway. So the only 2 things left are the trailer, which we're going to put a gate in front of, and he's going to try to use the fence that he's taking down, but we don't know for sure if we can use that.
All
We're
right.
trying to save money.
All right, the thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get the fence permitted, so you don't have another one of these cases with a.
Well, what do
unpermitted,
we need the permit for?
installing a fence?
Installing a gate in front of the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, you need a permit for that?
It's probably like was that like $75 permit or something?
No.
70, you keep changing your price. It's a $79 permit.
I'll have to wait till I go back to work, because
Well, I'm going to try to give you some time, but, I can't push this off forever because some people,
well, I'm hoping to be back to work in a couple weeks, so
well,
that'll help.
they're asking now normally for the end of August. I'll
August
give you,
30th, correct?
bounce this one in September. We'll give her some, she's already done some things. She's working on other things. I want to give her enough time to get to the point where she has at least, a good opportunity to do this. So give me a 9 date and then a 10 date.
September 28th,
9/28,
the October 10th, fine assessment
10/10,
hearing.
25,
$50 a day, please.
50. Okay, make it up to 50.
Sure.
Because I'm hoping that these things all get resolved, and if it's just one item,
They will be.
You mean the 25?
what? No, it's up to 50.
Up
That-
to 50.
Just put the up to in there, that way I can reduce it, to 25 if there's one thing left, but she has everything else done.
Understood.
Okay, so instead of giving you till the end of August, you get to the end of September to do this.
Okay,
So that gives your son and you some time. I mean, I just bought a new edger. I just bought a lawnmower.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the time of year when everything grows like crazy.
yeah, and he had to buy a used one because we didn't have the extra money to buy a new one.
I bought a used riding lawnmower because I'm getting old and
Yeah.
it's more fun to sit. Okay, so 9/28, 10/10 up to 50, granted.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll get an order to you in the mail. When you get it fixed, call her.
Okay,
And if you're getting things fixed along the way, call her and let her know. She's got to go through town anyway. She'll verify these things.
yeah, I've called her several times.
She doesn't mind. The more you contact them, the more you get time, the more
Okay.
you get. As long as they're seeing effort, that's what they want to see. They
Yeah.
just don't want to see people.
The only
going,
thing is, on our street, there's a lot of houses with
You
trees
know-
hanging over the sidewalks. We're not the only one.
I live here.
Yeah.
I live in La Mancha.
Yeah.
When I drive over between my house and here, I can find 100 violations.
Oh, my gosh.
They can too. Most all these violations are reported by your neighbors. They don't run around looking for these things, so people are going,
Yeah,
this needs to be taken care of.
yeah.
Otherwise, there are so many unscreened garbage
Well,
cans in the town.
I
that
feel
aren't
bad
being-
because people next door just moved in and we've got this trailer sitting right
I know,
outside their
it'd be
bedroom
nice
window.
if you screen it for them, so yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, 9/28, 10/10 up to 50.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Next is 18.
thank you.
Thank you. 18-1023, 932 Hibiscus Drive, Douglas
All right.
W. Cone.
Got it.
So when did you say I had till?
You'll get an order, but it's September 28th.
September 28th. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next, boat trailer.
Code Section 2318, boat trailer in disrepair, boat not registered. I observed this on 5/23/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 5/23/18 and were signed for on 6/1/18. Would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right. You have a signed green card, you have service. Sir, are you Douglas Cone?
Yes, sir.
Good guess, huh?
Good guess.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, and the
Okay.
signed green card.
Sign green, okay. Yep.
Exhibit 2, proof of ownership from the property appraiser website.
What is that?
Just proof of
Oh,
ownership
yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
property
yeah.
appraiser website. And exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
Nope.
Thank you.
All right, admitted into evidence. Can I see those? I grew up in the Virgin Islands. I hate
Oh, did you?
sailboats. They are the worst, slowest things around.
I inherited it.
I had a lovely power boat for 25 years. You pointed in a direction, you gave it gas, it got you there.
Right.
You didn't have to sit around and wait for the wind. I was just looking at the,
Well,
trailer.
I'm gonna lose this one then if you hate sailboats.
No, it's something you just have to enjoy doing. I just never liked sitting in one place. I got stuck in the ocean so many times. What's wrong with the trailer? Flat tires? Okay. All right, so we have a boat trailer in disrepair, which probably is just the flat tires. The
Yes.
rest of the trailer looks fine.
Right.
If you could levitate it a little and add some air, or add some air.
That's what I'm working on. Here's the registration.
Oh, so you have the FL numbers?
Yep.
Good. No, you have them. That's going to
Yeah.
be fine. You're going to be able to complete all this by the end of August without a problem because you have it in your hand.
Okay.
So 8, what's the 30?
8:30 or the
8:30?
9/12 final assessment hearing.
9/12 or
$25
25.
fine.
You're going to call
Dina.
Dina, once you get it aired up and you get your FL numbers on there. She's going to go, yes, you have it. She's going to put an affidavit of compliance in your file, so you will be fine. He can store the vote on the side of the property, correct?
The trailer needs to be repaired and then.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's
Yes,
got to, if he
yes.
gets it aired up, it's good.
I'm actually trying to sell it right now.
Well, no, I'm just getting you in compliance and you can keep it or sell it or do whatever. But, okay, so if he does all that, and he puts it on the side of the house, he's good. All right, so you have until the 30th of August, but you'll have it
Okay.
done in days, hopefully, just to get it out of your way.
My wife wants me to get rid of it.
Believe me, I've been there.
Is that it?
Granted,
Thank you,
yes.
sir.
Can I go home now?
You can go home now. Tell her it's closer.
Moving to page 10, 18-0841, 131 Martin Circle, Edward R. Severo and Carla Gardner.
Code sections 14-4, disabled vehicle. I observed this violation on 4/27/18, so now notice the violation, notice of hearing on 4/30/18. They signed for it on 5/7/18. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, will this be a finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Good, I won't pay that much attention. You have a signed green card then.
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Edward Richard Severo.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, and the signed green card. Exhibit 2, proof of ownership from property appraiser website. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violation. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
Not at all.
Thank you.
All right, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
So you're good. Just don't bring any more unregistered vehicles home, or if you're going to do that, put them in your garage.
Car is gone.
I don't care. As long as it's registered, you can keep it forever.
Okay.
All right, next.
Thank you.
18-0855, 10638 Misty Lane, Anchely A. Frazier.
Water heater.
Code section 622-105.5, permit for the water heater has expired. I observed this violation on 5/118, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/118, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information.
Are you Angelique Frazier?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You have an affidavit of service, so you can proceed.
Exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. The original mailing, which was returned to sender. Hearing, oops, I'm sorry, notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is permit information.
Yep.
Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
All right, admitted without objection. So you had a water heater permitted.
Yep,
Was it installed?
it was.
No one ever called for an inspection, though?
Well, yeah, so I called, it was done by Admiral Plumbing. I called once I got the notice and I asked them what it was about, and they said, well, you never called us for a final inspection. We sent you out a document. You're supposed to call us. And I told them I never received a document to call them, or else I would have called them and scheduled them. I actually called them and had them come back out because we had an issue with the water heater. If I would have known, I would have had them do that all in one day. So I had called and spoke to someone. She said that the water heater permit had expired after I got the notice. She said the water heater permit had expired and that I'd have to open up a brand new one and pay for it. And I said, well, that's not my problem because y'all didn't notice me. I didn't know that I was supposed to call and let you know to do a final inspection. So she said, okay, well, I'll call you back. That was about 3 weeks ago. And so then I forgot that I had this, or I forgot to follow up with her because she said she was going to call me back. I called back today, and they basically said they'd call me back. So closer to 5, I called them back again, and she said that they had called code enforcement, or they called the Village of Royal Palm Beach, left you all a message to see if they could reopen the permit, and she said she'd give me a call back tomorrow morning. So
Are you
that's.
talking about people making the calls at the?
I'm
water
calling
heater
Admiral.
company?
I'm talking to the plumbing company.
You're talking to the plumbing company, and they're supposed to be talking to the village.
Correct. Yes.
They're not. Or
They-
if they are, they're.
Well, she said, so I'll tell you this. I called earlier today. She said she was going to call me back. She hadn't called me back. So closer to 5, I was like, well, let me call back just to make sure. She said she had called around maybe 4. She said, oh, sometimes they leave early for the day. I left them a message. I'll give you a call back tomorrow morning after I speak with them in the morning.
Well, here's the problem. They being the plumbing company should have called for an inspection at the time they finished installing the unit, especially after you had complaints, and fixed everything, whatever.
Right.
They didn't.
Right.
And fortunately or unfortunately, the buck stops with you. The practical need here is the permit needs to be reopened, which requires a fee. And if it's Admiral's fault, they should pay the fee, but you don't want to get stuck in a war of words over a small fee. How much is this?
I believe it's like half the cost of.
It's over $100. They told me. That's why I had an issue with it.
No. How much is the renewal for a water heater?
That's what I just said, $37.50.
$37.50.
We don't regulate what they charge you running the permit, so they can charge you.
So if you if you had an owner builder permit for this water heater, it would cost you $37.50.
So am I allowed to renew it, or do I have to let them renew it?
Admiral's permit.
It's Admiral's permit, so you have to get them to do it. But you tell them, it's only $37.50. You're the one who goofed it, but you're ultimately responsible. So you may have to eventually file for your own and then get it something with it. I'm not sure.
So can I even file for a new one, and what does that cost?
It would cost you $137.50 because you have to do a change of contract.
Right. So I think that's what.
Yeah. See, the
it
problem
was over $100 is what they quoted me, and that's why I had an issue with it because we had already paid them.
The problem there is, it's a $37.50 permit. The $100 is for the change of contractor from them to you. If they keep it, the renewal fee is $37.50.
Right.
So
Okay,
they
I
need
gotcha.
to pay $37.50 to the village, the permit is renewed for another 6 months, you call for the inspection, get it
Okay.
inspected, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
But don't get into a long war of words with them over the $37.50 and end up with a $25 a day fine, which is always $325 by the time it gets to here.
Okay. I understand. Thank you. I did not know that it cost $37.50 for them to reopen it, because what they quoted me was over 100, and that was my
No.
issue with them.
You tell them that you talked to the magistrate who is talking to the people who take the money in.
Right, but we don't regulate, they have permit runners, so they're charging her a fee.
They're
and we
charging-
don't
Yeah.
regulate that.
I understood,
Yeah,
but
okay.
she can tell them
Yeah,
that the fee is
she's done it.
only
They-
$37.50.
Right.
You're the guys who let it
You
lapse.
messed it up.
You don't need to charge me any extra, just pay the $37.50 and get it renewed.
Right.
But when it finally comes down to it, if they don't
I
do it,
understand.
it's
I'm
going to be your
responsible.
problem. And $137.50 to change it to you, just to have it inspected, is a lot better than going through the code enforcement fine process.
Right.
I'm just trying to explain all this so you go, I got it all. I
Yes,
know
thank you.
Exactly what to tell them.
Absolutely.
Got
Thank
it?
you.
All right, so what is this, 839, whatever it is?
12 or $25
839,
day fine.
912, or $25. You get an order for me, another thing for you to send on to them is like, look, they're gonna start fining me.
Got it.
More leverage for you.
So I don't have any fines currently. I just need to
Not have a fine
get it straight
until
with them?
after the
Okay.
8:30 date passes. And like I said, by the 9/12 hearing, it's 13 days, which always comes out to $325 plus continuing.
So am I calling them to do the inspection, or am I calling you all to do
You're
the
gonna call
inspection?
them to get the permit renewal paid for.
Okay.
And once
And
that's
then-
done, then you'll call the inspection, because you have to be there.
Yeah.
Okay,
you-
that's fine.
Because they need to get in to look at it.
Yeah.
All it does is help you, because the village inspector wants to make sure that they did the job correctly.
Okay, so I'm calling the village to do the inspection, actually, the final inspection. Okay, I just want to be clear of who's actually
Okay.
doing that final one. Okay,
Granted.
thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
there goes our building permit seminar.
Next is 18-0890,
Yeah, popular page.
116 Park Road North, SRP Sub LLC.
Code section 942-9106-190A1 and 2. Fence needs repaired. Structure is staying. I observed this violation on 5/10/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/11/18, and got it back on 5/19/18. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Surprised that fence section hasn't fallen to the ground. You have a signed green card, you can proceed.
Your name, ma'am, for the record?
Julie Hines, representing SRP Sub.
Hines?
It's HYNDS, right?
That's correct.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit
Freaking flyer.
1 is the notice
I know.
of hearing, notice of violation, and the signed green
Yeah,
card.
I know, they're hanging, and the other people are hugging
Exhibit
each
2
other,
is
it's
proof of
fine.
ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violation.
Lovely.
Any objection to these documents?
Nope.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Admitted without objection, so we have fence in disrepair, which looks like two sections of fence just hanging there in the middle of nothing. And then we have dead palm fronds. I had mine trimmed yesterday. They're waiting to be taken away.
Actually, 15132 is being removed.
Which is
The dead palm fronds. Yes, sir.
I think it's very popular. Dead palm fronds, waiting for pickup. And the structure is staying, a little bit more fun. And is this an 83912?
Or $25 a day, yes, sir.
It's not 726? You guys
No.
Now
changed
we're
it?
switching it. She asked for more time.
You ask for more time. The fence should be fairly easy, the structure. Hopefully you have a good contractor who will
Yeah,
take
that,
care of that.
that was a bit of our delay, was the initial contractor quoted us to do a survey and a fence for the entire property, and in discussion with the code officer, we could just remove those. They're not really a fence, it's kind of just a gate. So
Well, there's a
we'll
couple
remove
panels just
those.
hanging, really, just, yeah.
Oh, God.
Remove them, put them out front, I don't know. Do whatever waste management requires for you to take them out, I don't know, they make, cut them in
Hopefully
pieces or
they're
something.
gone today, I hope.
Good, hopefully. And you know to call them, so you get your inspection and your affidavit of compliance. 8391225 granted.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, ma'am.
Next.
18-0919 140 Swan Parkway East, Teresa W. Zeddy.
Wow, this is the page.
Code Section 124C 06190A 3 and D, 2318B 95, garbage can in public view, driveway is stained, play structure needs repaired, parking on front lawn, hedge exceeds maximum allowable height. I observed this violation on 5/11/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/16/18, and I got, received it returned on 5/21/18. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have a signed green card, you have service.
Teresa Zetti.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation, and then the signed green card is on the front. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation.
Okay. This is not my trash can.
Okay,
This
we'll get
belonged
there.
to- okay.
We'll get there, yep.
Wait, let me see something
Go ahead.
here. 612.
You done with that one? Any objection to these documents?
No, other than the one trash can in the picture.
Okay,
Okay, well,
thank you.
And that was there about 3 weeks. It was my neighbor's trash can.
well, I think the trash can is the smallest of the issues with this case.
Right.
So, all right. Village have anything further?
I could just give you the compliance dates. We'd be asking for the same compliance by 8:30 or 9:12 or $50 a day fine.
Ms. Edie, we have a series of violations. You tell me the garbage can was one of your neighbor's cans, and the garbage can is probably the smallest and least easy, or least problematic and easiest thing to deal with. You seem to have a lot of vehicles, and I understand that in Florida, shade is king, and I love parking under trees, but you can't park on the front lawn. Under that tree, it sounds like you almost have too many vehicles, and you might want to consider pouring another driveway to park those vehicles there if you want to.
That's actually something that we are, where the vehicles are parked on the side of the house. I want to put a natural driveway.
I have no idea whether that qualifies or not. All I can tell you is if you pour concrete.
I don't want to pour concrete. I don't use like
you can't do that.
Why?
They're going to tell you that that's not a allowable surface for a driveway in Royal Palm Beach.
Right,
Well, I would dispute that because on the old side of Royal Palm, there are plenty of driveways who are nothing more than 2 strips of concrete with grass in between them. So it's basically walking
But they have
on
2
grass.
strips of concrete with grass in between them, which is, I mean, old Florida. I grew up
Okay.
here. I actually
Okay,
was
so
born.
what's the difference in their property and my property?
Well, they're probably grandfathered in under that old driveway standard. I do not know what the
Then-
driveway standards are for the village and whether it needs to be complete. I think you even need to have permits for pavers.
Yeah.
If you're gonna use pavers. You can't put mulch, you can't put stone, you have to have something more.
There's certain material.
Material that are allowed for driveways
Right.
here, normally it's asphalt, concrete, and/or pavers.
Well, I purchased my house in '93, so where am I grandfathered in and what?
You are not grandfathered in unless those things were
Were already in
existed at the time
Okay.
of the purchase in 1993. The biggest problem you have is parking under the trees.
Okay,
Cleaning the driveway is just a pressure cleaning / pressure cleaning with bleach thing. You have a lot of cars, you need more space to park them. So you may want to consider putting a concrete driveway in there. But before you do that, just keep everything on the driveway side so you're out of problems with the village. And then you can put that other pad there and park there if it's allowed under their code. And I don't know.
You could remove the vehicles from the driveway that you don't move into the garage, and that would take care of an old case that you have as well, getting rid of the disabled vehicles and then you could put the cars that you do use on the driveway.
And then
We'll
you
use
could,
them all at various times.
But the van never moves. The van in the driveway never moves. The pickup truck, I don't believe, has moved for, but I know that van, that tan van in the driveway, that's been there for
months,
a good year and a half.
see? And they, unfortunately, they get to pay attention and they get to run around on weekends and look at this sort of thing, so. But yeah, you just need to get yourself into compliance for a few minutes, and get that done, and then you can go move on to whatever you think. I mean, I bought my house in the village because it had a double wide circular driveway, and I can literally put 6 or 8 cars in there without ever touching a swale. And in my guy mind, that was like, this is why I want this. I can put boats here, I can put cars here, and I do. I have all piles of it. It's great, but they're all tagged and they work.
Right.
So 830, 912, 25, 50. Okay, and yeah, you just need to start working on these things, get him to the point.
Pretty much everything on this list is in compliance right now. I just,
Well, get it all in compliance and call Margaret so she can get that affidavit of compliance in your file.
okay.
So you don't get on to phase 2. And then if you want to pour something or paver something, pavers are lovely. They're more permeable, but
Yeah.
it's all up to you. I
Okay.
don't tell you how to park it. I just tell you how you can't park it.
I do need a little extra time though for the play structure to repair that, make repairs in my time.
It's up to you. What's your response? You want to go later on the play structure? I'd be happier with the cars and everything done. It just makes the attorney's order more entertaining. Give an extra month on that one?
Yeah, we could give for the play
Just for the play
structure,
structure.
compliance by 9/10,
Okay.
which is before the fine assessment hearing.
All right, they've given you a couple more weeks.
Yes.
9/10, 8, or 9/12. So,
Appreciate that.
okay. Just get it all into compliance if it's only for a day, and then you can get your affidavit, and then you can work on fixing other things.
Okay.
Okay? Just trying to keep you out of trouble.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate
All
that.
right. Got it. Next.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving top
I
of
guess
page
we're going to
11,
11.
18-0925, 246 Sandpiper Avenue, Audrey James.
Okay.
Code section 06190D and H, the shutter is closed, planting area is not maintained. I observed this violation on 5/15/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/16/18, and had to post it to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. You have an affidavit of service via posting. You have service and can proceed.
Audrey.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of hearing and the notice of violation. Here's the mailing that was returned undeliverable. This is the notice of hearing and the notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No, but I'd like to say something. There
Sure,
is-
hold on,
okay.
just wait 1 second.
We have to get, they love this process. So we have to get these into evidence, and you can tell us anything you want about them. All right, admitted without objection.
Thank you.
All right, now your turn.
Yes, sir. The reason why the shutter is up, one of the shutters is up because I removed the others, but one of the door is broken, and I live with my children, my daughter, so it was safety reason. But now I purchased one, and right now they're working on it.
Okay, well, that's fine, because they're going to probably give you till August 30th to get that done.
And
8:30, 9:12 is the normal here.
Correct, for a $25 a day fine.
Now, the planting areas, I mean,
that's my little herbs. They're not really grass. I use them, but I'm gonna just cut back on them.
yeah,
I was
well,
trying to remove some. It's
you may
like,
want to put
I used to have a fence, but during the
herbs
hurricane
or
I
whatever
lost it. Yeah.
into pots, or something that's easier to deal with.
All right.
If you just pull the edges off that planter, you know, you could just mow that without having to deal with it. I mean, I remember we did this Sunday, Monday, I could barely get out and move around because I spent all this time on my hands and knees pulling weeds. My wife likes planters, and my wife was out there because I made her, and then my daughter was out there because she's nice. So, but you know, you have to deal with this, and if you're not good with planters, you know, get rid of them and just make it grass, and then put your herbs or your spices or whatever in little pots, and they'll be much easier to
I
tend.
have some in some, yeah. All right.
Okay, and when you're done, please call Margaret so she can get your affidavit of compliance in the
Okay,
file.
thank you.
Because these are easy little things to take care of if you're gonna get your door fixed.
Yes, sir.
And you're probably supposed to get a permit for the door
If they're replacing.
if they're replacing it, so. But you can do it as an owner builder.
Yeah.
You can get it, in fact, you own this house, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's your homestead property. So make sure you apply for a permit as an owner builder to replace the door. And it's this is a $79 permit? For $79,
Probably.
you get your permit issued, then you have 6 months to install it.
And I have it already. Can I ask you a question? My son does that kind of work. But right now he's going to he has cancer. So he's doing chemo. But is it okay that if he could do it, I have to call in a company?
I don't care who does it, and it's probably better that you do it. You can always hire a company under your permit. No, you become the contractor, and you can hire a door company to fix it if you want to, or you can do it yourself. But it gives you 6 months to do it.
Thank you.
So you can put a sort of patch in there and fix it all up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 8:30, 9/12/25.
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Staying on the same page, 18-1027205 Behringer Walk, IH3 Property, Florida LP.
Code section 06190A15, sidewalk is stained. I observe this violation on 5/24/18. Send out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/24/18. You've got a signed green card. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Signed green card equals service. You can proceed.
Sure, Ryan Finlayson, IH3 Property, Florida.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that would you like to enter into evidence?
Boom,
Exhibit
boom.
1 is
Get a stamp.
hearing, notice of violation.
It's fine.
Guess not the signed green card. Exhibit 2, proof of ownership. Exhibit 3, photograph of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
He stopped me in the parking lot at North Palm Beach. I'm like, yay. All right, so being as you're like IH, whatever property number, y'all should really have one of those good 13 horsepower Honda pressure cleaners. And
Yeah, we have that being vendored out. The resident was supposed to comply with it. They did not. They're going to be moving out at the end of the month.
it
So
doesn't matter to me. As long as you get the sidewalk done, they can move or stay. So
it'll be complied by the end of the week, and I'll let Margaret know.
you're a pro. You should know. 8:39:12.
No, we were asking for compliance by 7/26
Oh,
for the 8A
7/26.
hearing, or
Okay.
$25 a day fine.
7/26/88/25. But it's a pressure cleaner. He'll get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
So we'll sign that order. All right, next.
He left.
You did?
Yeah. I had to pick up his wife.
Mitigations.
And we actually need to add one of the mitigations, Luke, and you,
No, she's on there.
oh, she's already on?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just thought it was Gail's and it was a total mess up.
okay, never mind then,
That's
so,
what I was losing my mind.
okay. Moving on
All
to,
right, well, 5 mitigations. I got 1, 2,
Fine
3,
mitigations,
4,
yeah.
5. 5 sort of together, right?
correct. Do you want me to call them all together?
I was wondering what the guy with the tie was hanging out for. Hey, you get them all. At least they're all 16s and 17s. They're not huge.
Right.
Do you want me to do them all together or separate?
It's all up to you. I get paid by the hour.
Starting with case, we'll do them separately then. Case 16-0133, 149 Valencia Street, U.S. Bank U.S. Bank National Association Trust.
Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, the order assessing fine, Exhibit 2, affidavit of compliance, Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, request for fine mitigation.
Okay. You are, sir?
Hi, I'm Justin Smith. I'm here on behalf of U.S. Bank.
What was your first name?
Justin Smith.
And you're an attorney, just so we're
Correct,
for counsel?
correct.
Thank you.
I'm with Robertson, Anschutz, and Schneid.
Thank you.
Okay. And the fine on this case is?
The fine on this one is $1,950.
1950.
The village's costs are $1,550.81.
All right, Mr. Smith. Obviously, you probably have taken this back.
Right.
Foreclosure or something, I would say.
Correct. If possible, I was hoping we could kind of address them all at the same time, since, I mean, the facts are sort of similar as far as...
Here's the problem with that. I have to end up doing 5 separate orders for this.
Mhm.
And it kind of gets, if we start clumping them all together, then I have to start prorating them out on...
Okay.
It becomes an
Okay.
issue, so it's just easier for me to deal with it.
Okay, I mean, realistically, the largest ones are what I was hoping to possibly reduce. I mean, this first one, like you said, is $1,950. The second one's $281.
Well, if we're going to do them separate, if we need to keep the record clear with...
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, let's try to keep, the 1950 is the first one. It's 16,133, okay?
And the village is opposing this one. The village is going to ultimately oppose all of them. They're on the agenda for another violation hearing for the same property. So the village will...
On today's or next?
On today's, for the same address.
Oh, we skip over them, or are they
No.
further on the agenda?
He must not have signed in for that one. I don't know.
I wasn't aware that there was another violation. I was here just for the fine mitigations.
Oh, well, they're saying there was another one.
It's on page 5, third one from the bottom.
Ooh, not looking good.
So I didn't realize.
Well, he didn't know he was here for that one either, so he didn't
No one did.
presumably sign in
It's
for
all
that
good.
one.
All right, so you want to do the fine violation hearing first? Or do we want to go do the mitigations and do this last? I don't care. Pick your order.
If we can stick with the mitigations, that's what
Okay.
we have the files before us now for that.
All right, so we have a 1950, you have $1,550.81 in costs. Why should it be reduced?
Just to give you some background on how U.S. Bank obtained title to this property, there was a foreclosure filed in 2008. However, final judgment was not entered until 2013, and there was a delay between the final judgment and the issuance of title to U.S. Bank. The borrower had filed multiple suggestions of bankruptcy, motions to cancel sale. But like I said, ultimately, title was issued to U.S. Bank in 2015. But as I stated, the foreclosure had been going on since 2008. So the property was in disrepair. It hadn't been maintained by the prior owner. So essentially, I mean, like I said, that's why it took so long to get title. As far as remediating the issues with the property, they were remediated as of April of this year. And on the final judgment, it's for $376,000. So there were no payments made on this loan for over a decade. But at this point, we've assessed that the value of the property is at best $250,000. So we're asking for a reduction so we can sell this property with clear title. At this point, U.S. Bank is already out over $100,000 if it can sell the property for $250,000. And the total of all the fines is $39,000. So essentially, we're looking at a loss of $140,000 at least to U.S. Bank. So again, that's why we would request a reduction.
Okay. Well, let's take them 16-133, $1,950 in fines, $1,550 $50 in costs, usually like two
if we
times
could
your costs.
Yes, yes, sir.
So that's, usually that's a $3,000 and fines less than two. And I really don't see a ground for a reduction there. So that one's easy to deny. The next one is 16-1439. How much is that one?
Yes, that's also one, okay, we gotta read them all in, so.
I'd like to enter into evidence
Hold
the
on, hold
order
on.
assessing fine.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
16-1439, 149 Valencia Street, U.S. Bank, National Association Trust. Go ahead.
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the order assessing fine, Exhibit 2, request for fine mitigation, and Exhibit 3, verification of ownership.
All right, what's the amount of fine on this one?
$281.
And that was what, you
That was
mowed
an
their
abatement.
grass?
Abatement, yes.
See, Mr. Smith, here's one of the problems. You know, I'm an attorney, I'm a litigator, I actually do a little bit of this work. You know, you had this property in litigation from 2008 till title was issued in 2015. That's a period of 7 years where the village couldn't even think about code enforcement because it was useless. I mean, they knew that until certificate of title in 2015 that they can't collect anything from you because there's nothing they can do until you receive title. 2015, you get title, you know, even say it's the end of the year, December 31st, giving you that leaves you 2016 to go in there and fix these things. And it didn't happen because there are 3 cases in 16 and there are 2 in 17. And that's just, you know, this is a self-inflicted injury at this point. And the financial loss or gain of the bank is really not a concern to the village because that's just, you know, your deal and your collateral. And, you know, that's a private contract between you and the borrower. So in 16-1439, the 281, I cannot grant that because that was for the purpose of maintaining the property and the village was forced to do it by your bank's inaction. Now we get to
16-1464, 149 Valencia Street, U.S. Bank, National Association Trust.
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the order assessing fine, Exhibit 2, affidavit of compliance, Exhibit 3, request for mitigation, and Exhibit 4, verification of ownership.
And how much is the fine in this case?
$27,200, and the village's costs are $3,116.60.
So you've never been before me, probably. This is my pet peeve. Kids die because people don't latch their pools.
Right.
Kids wander into abandoned properties because it's something kids do.
Right.
And, you know, I'm looking at gate was replaced as not self-closing and self-latching per the safety code. I mean, that's just, you've probably gotten your reduction because no one died on that site and would have sued the bank for this. And, you know, I understand it took forever. I understand I have a client who I no longer represent who's filed probably 6 bankruptcies to keep the property, and I don't know why. The bank actually offered him $15,000 to leave, and he wouldn't take it, and I don't know why. But, you know, this is all self-inflicted by the bank, and God only knows I can't grant this one either. Which gets us now to 17-0259.
149 Valencia Street, U.S. Bank, National Association Trust.
This was a repeat violation for the pool being unsecured.
Yeah.
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the previous order, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, affidavit of compliance, and Exhibit 4, request for fine mitigation.
The amount of fine here?
Is $1,800, and the village's costs are $1,514.05.
See, and once again, unsecured pool in the village, total liability problem, well within the purview of the bank to fix it. When the bank finally decided to go ahead and fix it, you know, it was probably an easy thing to do. It was just quite frankly motivating the bank to get out there and pay it some attention. So denied on this one, and we'll get to the last one.
17-1504, 149 Valencia Street, U.S. Bank, National Association Trust.
Yes, and what's the amount of the fine on this?
If we could let Gail read into the
Like
record.
to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, order finding violation, Exhibit 2, affidavit of compliance, Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, request for fine mitigation.
The amount of the fine is?
$8,986, and the village's costs are $1,615.55.
And after all of this, that last case was a 170259. Pool is unsecured, and now we have 1,200 and change cases later. The fence is down, and the pool is unsecured. You can tell people back at your office you ran into the magistrate who just has a big problem with people who will not secure an attractive hazard that can kill a kid.
Right.
I mean, that is just the worst thing I can do. I don't care about garbage cans. House numbers are just, who cares? It's a $5 Home Depot thing. But when they're putting kids in the village at risk, it denied. It's all denied.
Okay, thank you.
And are you going to stay for the violation hearing? Because we can
Let's just bang that one out.
call that one now if you're staying for that.
Sure, I can.
We got to get the folder. Moving back to page 5. Third from the bottom, case 18-0733, 149 Valencia Street, U.S. Bank National Association Trust.
And tell them it didn't help having a violation on the calendar as well while you're requesting a fine mitigation on the same property.
Right.
It's like, I'm walking in there, it's not a good situation.
Right.
And by the way, they didn't tell you have another violation on the same property.
The code
He's
sections.
smiling because it's like, I haven't done that crap yet.
Code
This is
sections.
bad.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The code sections are 6190A and 6191. Gutters are hanging off of the house and the drive and sidewalk are stained. I observed this violation on 4/16/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Well, then they put up a new fence. All right. Show them. Show them.
Sorry.
Gotta
I was just
show
so
them.
used to handing 'em back
Don't
to
hand
Gail.
them back.
Can you state your name again for the record, sir?
It's Justin Smith.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service for the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. Here's the mailing. Which came back.
Okay.
Notice of hearing, notice of violation, which were in there. Proof of ownership from the property appraiser website.
Cold.
Photographs of.
I'm warm.
It's a nice new fence. Okay.
Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, sir.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, what do you want on this?
Sorry. We'd be asking you on this one for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or a $50 a day fine.
I've eviscerated this guy enough. 839, 12, $50. He'll fix it or he'll get fined. Go paint it and get it done. You've had enough fun here today.
Thank you.
Just make sure that they don't paint the driveway or the sidewalk section of the driveway, which they
Yeah.
did in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, leave the sidewalk alone. It makes it slick and a liability concern for the village.
Okay.
But the rest of the driveway is almost impossible to strip these things.
Mm-hmm.
Just have them repaint it something.
Okay.
And it'll get them out of trouble and tack the gutters up. And you can say, at least I got extra time. They were going to torture me for that. But the guy felt sorry for me after all this.
I appreciate
Granted.
it.
Thank you.
And what was the date for compliance on that?
839.12 or a $50 a day fine. They were going to make you do it in a couple of weeks. And I know banks move so fast.
Right.
Please try to get this one done.
Thank you. I will.
All right. Thank you very much.
Moving back to fine mitigations, page 12, case 18-0011, 125 Sherwood Drive, Bewley LLC.
Okay.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, finding violation, Exhibit 2, affidavit of compliance, Exhibit 3, request for mitigation, and Exhibit 4, verification of ownership.
Okay. The amount of the fine is?
In this case, it's $4,450, and the village's costs are $1,563.88.
Okay. And they know who you are, so.
Yes.
Why should I reduce this fine?
I compiled a little bit of data just to give some background on what's happening with, we have similar cases that are in progress right now that we're working through that are similar to this one. And just to give a little background, as you know, there was Irma, and we have about 45 properties in Village of Royal Palm proper that we're managing. And from September 10th to October 31st, 29 of those home or residents contacted us that their fences were down. And we did send out a lot of vendors to begin the remediation and try to, secure the property, make it safe, and secure the residents as well. We have a lot of comments from them that they had dogs that were needing to be kept in, and children and all of that. So we heeded the governor's order about when he issued the state of emergency, and we just went and fixed it, whatever it was, roof, whatever. So I anticipated we were going to run into this because I know how important it is to get these permits. And I started to research after the first of the year to find out what kind of violations we were having. And by like March 15th hearing, I think we had about 10 fence without permit cases. So code officers are doing their job very well. That's why the city is so beautiful. And, as soon as I saw this one, I did reach out to the code officer to ask for a little more clarifications. My main concern was, and one of the reasons that this fine is so high is that it has a status of a repeat violation, which of course means the fine started on the same day. So even though we started to try to remedy this permit issue, it had already gone into fines. Moreover than that, though, is that the violation was cited against Bewley LLC, but that company actually ceased to exist in June of last year, and it's actually, since June of last year, this property's been owned by SRP Sub. So the order itself is in error as far as citing properties that caused this repeat violation. They were owned by that entity that didn't own this property any longer at that time. I know that's kind of a technicality, but I'm just hopeful that you'll work with us. I mean, I'm going to be here again probably in the coming months on those other cases I mentioned that we're working through. In this case, though, I was hoping to settle this for cost.
So I guess just a couple of things. Ownership would have been dealt with and found at the time of the violation hearing, the repeat violation hearing in this case. We have the property appraiser printouts from back when that order was found, which reflect Bewley LLC. But again, we're not here for that. We're here for fine mitigation. So now is not the time to debate those factual things. They've already been addressed. So we would be asking in this case for 2 times the village's costs, which would be $3,127.76.
All right. Just because I'm crappy at math, $3,100 by
90 days would be 1011.
$1,350 off on that one. Okay.
She has the next one.
I know,
Repeat that?
that's why I'm just going through them.
Would you repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't.
$3,100 by 1011. Usually they want 2 times their cost. I just made it a little easier math-wise instead of 3120 something.
So, just so I understand, there's no fines, but it's 2 times the cost?
The fine was $4,450. They have costs of $1,563.88. The village usually requests 2 times the costs as their amount to settle these fines. That would be a little over $3,100, 31 and change. And I just reduced it to $3,100 by October 11th. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
it's $1,350 less than the fine amount. So you can go back and say you got it reduced somewhat.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And the next one is?
18-1003, 125 Sherwood Drive, Dooley LLC.
Okay, and tell me about this one.
Correct to enter into evidence the previous order assessing fine. Exhibit 2, affidavit of compliance. Exhibit 3, request for fine mitigation. And Exhibit 4, verification of ownership.
And the fine amount is?
$850, and the village's costs are $1,561.85.
All right. And in this one, you did good because it's small. But the problem is the costs of the village are exceeding the fines. And I rarely reduce it below cost unless there's compelling reasons. And I just don't see compelling here. So this one I'll deny because if I reduced it to $1,561, it would be adding almost $800 to your fine.
Understand.
We'll just leave it at $850 and call that one a day. So that one's denied. Okay. Do we have any more?
Yes, on the same page.
Not with Julie, though.
Not with you, you're done. Thank you, ma'am.
I was like, oh, no, not in that.
No, we don't have another one someone doesn't know about. All right, who's next?
Pippin left.
Yeah.
Pippin, who's Pippin? Isn't that a musical?
No, an address. Next is 18-0151, 1386 Denlow Lane, Diane M. Gant.
Oh, okay. 16.
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order assessing fine dated 6/16/18. Exhibit 2, letter requesting fine mitigation. Exhibit 3, affidavit of compliance. Exhibit 4, verification of ownership.
Okay, tell me about this one. Yeah, usually she reads some stuff to me.
Oh,
She just did.
Oh, she did? What was the amount of fine?
I didn't read the fine amounts. I'm sorry.
Oh, see, I'm not done here. It's like, I got this. Where's the fines?
The fine amount is $425, and I don't have a total cost for you. It exceeds
It's gonna
the
be
fine amount.
way more.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Grant, or Gant, I've added an R to your name. Why should the fine be reduced?
Well, actually, I'm asking for help because I hired somebody to come in and do my screen room, and he took my $5,000 and left, and never came back for months. Put up one slight wall, so I'm paying back a loan of $5,000 for no screen room, which I did file with the Palm Beach County Building Department, and they cited him, but he's nowhere to be found except on the booking blotter. I've since then rallied up 12 victims, and we now have a state attorney case against him, and we're out in total, 12 of us, $87,000. He was licensed with, actually, they've done work here at the village. I did my homework. I'm gonna cry. I did all my homework. I checked it up, the business. I did everything. But he went separate and still denied, lied about everything. Said he was still working for them. They split the company entities, and
All right.
it's like every time I turn a corner, I'm getting hit with more money, fines and more money and fines for something that.
All right, so the patio wasn't
kinda
done?
did. I had to
You
take
finally had to
another
pay
loan.
someone else to do some, do
And the
patio work?
gentleman who owned the company who does work in the village, I called him and said, look, your guy, and he's like, no. No, that guy has not worked for us. He's using our name. He's been doing it in the village. I even came to the village and said, this guy is still doing business underneath somebody else's license. And Lou, you saw the name and everything, so you're aware of which company that was. But I don't think he'll be back to Royal Palm.
Okay, reduced to 0.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Granted.
I thank you very, very, very much.
You've had enough on this.
And I do. Oh, Lou.
I know.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
very, very, very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Now we're moving to page 14, the health and safety abatement hearing.
No, we have somebody back there too. Are
Oh,
you-
yeah, I'm
I don't
sorry.
have them.
Yeah,
You
she's
don't
the
leave-
one, she is on the agenda. It's
145, page
145
14.
Cortez. I did have her sign in. She
Okay.
was sworn in, she was here.
21.
Okay. Sorry, moving back to page 14, case 18-0970. 145 Cortez Avenue, Cardio, Eliab C, and Summer H, Summer Cardio.
Yes.
Anything on my agenda?
Huh?
I don't have anything on my agenda.
Okay. Do we know what the amount of the fine is? It's got to be like $425.
Yeah, this is a business tax, it was $300 in fines.
300.
Well,
Let,
I have to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go
We would
ahead.
like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership.
Okay. Why should the fine be reduced?
When I got the permit through the city, as soon as I got it, I walked over to, or I drove over to the courthouse or Palm Beach County. Went over there, gave them paperwork. They couldn't do anything. They were like, okay, under this code for the business that I wanted to run, they said, no, you can't do anything. So I went back home, tried to do some research. I was out of money because I bought it through the city. So I'm like, okay, I just can't do anything with it. The business is just gonna sit here. It's a Nutty Bavarian. So like I do roasted peanuts. I call up to Tallahassee. Tallahassee they don't even know how I should run it. So I'm just like, okay, forget it. I just don't know what to do. So then I started getting notices through the village of Roy Palm saying I needed to renew. I'm not running the business. So I was like, okay, I don't need to renew. I'm not gonna do the business anymore. Lo and behold, I found out I have to come here because I had to renew it or I had to turn in the paperwork. I threw all the stuff away. I'm like, since I can't run the business, just throw the stuff away. The day that I was supposed to come in, I missed my hearing because I had to go get my water turned back on and my lights turned back on. My husband's out of work and I'm the only one working. So I came in and rescheduled.
Stop.
Just so we have on the
Yes.
record, what is your name, ma'am?
Summer Cardio.
Thank you.
Reduced to 0.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Okay, now down to the health safety abatement hearing, 18-1135, 103 Sunflower Circle, IH5 Property, Florida LP.
Code section 1557, high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 6/11/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 6/12/18, and got the green card signed on 6/18/18. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
My stuff's never that green. All right, signed green card equals service.
Can you say your name again?
Sure, Ryan Finlayson, H5 property.
Thank you. These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of hearing, notice of violation, signed green card. Exhibit 2, proof of ownership. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay, they're going to ask me to sign an order allowing them to abate this property, which is going to cost $280 for a yard to be cut.
$286.
$286, excuse me.
They actually did mow the front and back of the
What I'm going
yard.
to say is, you've got till Monday before I sign these orders to get it.
All the,
No, but-
behind the fence is still.
So, but what I'm saying, you got till Monday to get this finished off and call them, so this order does not get sent out for a work order if they're done, because they don't want to you don't want to pay $280 for a strip of land now.
No, I had them go this morning. They cut, I didn't know that there was this extra strip on the other side of the fence. So I had them abate it and do the front and the backyard. So everything got mowed, I thought, except for that one section on the outside that I didn't know needed to get cut. So once I came in, I thought that was the one that was completed, that I could come in here and say it's done. But we have that one last strip and we'll get it taken care of. before Monday.
So you have the order before you, but we'll need to do an amended order with a compliance date if you're giving him.
I'm just,
gonna give it to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If we can have it comply by Monday, which is,
or you just hold that order for me till Monday, and if it's done, I don't have to sign it. Because I will sign it on Monday when I sign these things.
I'd prefer to have a compliance date, because once you,
Okay.
your
I
order
don't
gives
care.
us, yeah, if we can do it that way.
Does it any way you like.
Okay, so,
So you want to give him till Monday or Tuesday to fix it?
yes, sir, Monday, which would be the 16th.
7/16. Oh, it's, my daughter has a, yes, my daughter has a orthodontist appointment that I
So
have to
comply
go
by
to.
7/16, or there'll be a one-time abatement, and the village's fee of $286.
7/16 or 8 what? Because we have to have a meeting date in there if you're going to make me do a compliance
It'd be
statement.
8/8,
8/8 or
the $286
Or
one-time
286.
abatement, correct.
Okay. 7/16, 8/8, 286. Granted, you'll get it fixed before then and call them, so I won't have to dig it
Thank
out.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay.
Thanks, Lou.
Bye, Ryan, have a good one.
And we are back to 1/1 of 15.
Okay. Status/fine assessment hearings, case 18-0092, 10101 and 10109 Southern Boulevard, 10101 Southern Boulevard Holdings.
10101.
Oh, that's Dina.
Dina Linda?
Yeah, Dina Linda.
Is that like Ricky Bobby? We try.
It's getting late in the evening.
An hour to do these. Come on, run them through.
Okay, we'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, the most important thing is the signed green card, which equals service. What do you want?
We'd be asking for a fine in this case now.
That's fine. Fine is fine.
It was out of compliance for 8 days, so we'd be asking for a $400 and continuing fine.
400 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you. Fine assessment hearings, 18-0063, 109 Malaga Street, Brittany N. and Sean Karames.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, permit information.
You have a signed green card, you have service. What would you like?
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so we'd be asking for a $325 fine and
325
continuing.
plus continuing is granted.
Thank you. 18-0266, 211 Salzedo Street, Humler and Magalita Junti.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, once again, signed green card equals service.
This again has been out for 13 days, so we'd be asking for $325 and continuing fine.
Okay, granted.
18-0411, 111 Pimlico Way, Jessica M. Duboff.
Pimlico, the racetrack.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
And what really matters is the affidavit of service on the top, which you have, and that's pretty fancy.
This again has been out for 13 days, so 325 and continuing.
Granted.
18-0507, 297 Ponce de Leon Street, Frank C. Shillow.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
How many times do I drive by this house a day? Depends on which way I'm leaving the neighborhood. Signed green card equals service.
Again, out of compliance for 13 days, so a fine of 325 and continuing.
Wobbly wobbly. 325 plus continuing is granted.
18-0594, 167 Miramar Avenue, Dimitri Dumargant and Jeanette Narcisse.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Is it a Corvette? No, it's boring. Okay, you have an affidavit of service. Looks like a Nissan of some kind, and it doesn't move. Okay, they should turn it around every once in a while just to make you happy, huh? 325 plus continuing.
Correct,
Granted.
thank you. 18-0315, 1280 Chorus Way, Shayna Thane.
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Sorry about
We have an affidavit of service. We have service and can proceed.
This one again is out for 13 days, so 325 and
Actually,
continuing.
I'm sorry, we were gonna give her more time.
Oh,
That
good.
That
So she
happened at the very end of the day.
Okay, so
No problem. Tell me what you want to do, because I got to
I
move
by
it out.
8:30 or the 9/12 fine assessment hearing,
Status/fine assessment.
or a $25 a day fine. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
granted. Next.
You said status slash?
Yeah, because they're turning it into a violation in the fine side, so that way we can do more if I want to. So that's
Thank
a
you.
status/fine assessment. Got it.
18-0400 782 Orchid Drive, Shanique Morris.
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, permit information.
Someone must have lost this in their desk. 2012 permit. Affidavit of service equals service. What do you want?
This one has been out for 13 days, so 325 and continuing.
6 years, 1,800 days, okay. Granted.
Thank you. 18-0416 726 Gardenia Drive, James S. and Linda W. Hill.
We'd
No one
like to
pulls
enter the
any cases
following into
anymore.
evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have affidavit of service, so you have service and can proceed.
Again, 13 days to a fine of 325 and continuing.
325 plus continuing, granted.
Thank you.
18-0488 10304 Pippin Lane, Frankner Theodore.
Like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
That's okay.
Signed green card equals service. Did he ever show up on one of these? Was present at the last one. See, I kind of remember him. He's a nice guy. I don't know what.
Yeah, he was here at the last one.
Just fix the doors and please. And he put a patch on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Again,
right.
this has been out for 13 days, so 325 and continuing.
Granted.
Thank
Try
you.
to save them from themselves. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Moving to page 3, 18-0498 1169 Grand Duke Way, Migo LLC.
My go. Doors.
Like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Affidavit of service equals service, and you can proceed.
This again has been out for 13 days, so 325 and continuing.
It's the old Rolling Stone song. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. 325 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
18-0932 is being pulled.
Finally, uphold.
18-0342 159 Martin Circle, Tenetta Maria.
You know, we are on like our second or third hurricane in the Atlantic now. It's almost August, the good time. The Carolinas are having fun.
Sorry.
Gotta put my shutters
I
up every
tender
couple
the
of
following
years.
documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. Exhibit 4, AS4 under permit information. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact.
I know we'd be asking for an order assessing no fine.
Order assessing no fine is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 18-0403 100 Pintail Court, Thomas E. and Edward Maxwell Jr.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have an affidavit of service. Anything interesting in the car world? Oh, God, no.
Disabled.
Oh, my God, it's a Mercury. Do they make them anymore? Mercury Sable / Ford Taurus.
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so we'd be asking for
325 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
18-0467 159 Sunflower Circle, Gene F. Duderval.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
See there. healthiest weeds in the world. See, they're never Corvettes. I almost bought a dead Corvette for $2,100. A dead one. And someone beat me to it. 325 plus continuing?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
It had a fuel pump problem. Those are easy.
18-0541-203 Bob White Road, James A. and Elizabeth W. Downey.
Like
Oh,
to
here's
know
my
the following
Corvette.
documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Well, it's pretty enough to be covered. It's definitely not a Corvette. It's too tall. Okay. 325 plus continuing?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0643-1125 Rhapsody Way, Deutsche Bank, National Trust Co. Trust.
Like to know the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, picture.
The good thing about the banks is they do sign green cards, so you have service.
This one's again been out for 13 days, so 325 and continuing.
I just want to look at the other picture for the lawn part. There's
For
no
the-
lawn pictures. Do they park on the lawn? Say yes.
Yes, they do.
Good.
It's
325
mostly
plus
that
continuing is
shed and the
granted.
setback.
Thank you. 18-0713-10683 Aquarius Lane, Progress Residential Borrower 1 LLC.
Like to know the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, picture.
Signed green card equals service. Yucky.
Again, this one's been out for 13 days, so
325 plus
and
continuing is granted.
Thank you.
Moving to repeat violations, 18-1154, 143 Ponce de Leon Street, Claude D. and Michelle R. M. Swordlet III.
Ooh.
Code section is 1557. This is a repeat violation for high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 6/14/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of a hearing, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. And Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
I looked at this one and I said, you know, they're going to stop. Because that was tall. I passed by that one, like, on the way to the bank, back and forth. All right, so
This one was
they
out
were
for
a
11 days at $100 a day, so fine of
$1,100.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was horrible lawn time. Granted.
18-1159, 363 La Mancha Avenue, Milton, Arlington.
This is a repeat violation for code section 2318B2, restricted trailer parked on the driveway and not screened from view. I observed this violation on 6/14/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, pictures.
So what, the first one wasn't good enough, so you had to get its good side and go on the other side and take a picture?
It's whichever way I was going.
All right, how much on this one?
This has been out, this was out of compliance for 27 days, so a fine of $1,350 and not continuing.
1350, no continuing.
Thank you. 18-1170 is being pulled.
Yay.
18-1276, 225 Ponce de Leon Street, NRZ, Rio Corp.
This is a repeat violation of code section 1557, high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 7/5/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed and also posted it on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, pictures.
That's what the back of that property looks like?
Through the window, yes,
Are the cars just sitting there?
yes,
People live there?
no.
Didn't think so. But it's a good place to park your car, I guess. All right, how much?
This has been out for 7 days. We'd be asking for a fine of $700 and continuing, and also for a one-time abatement.
700 plus continuing plus abatement is granted.
Thank you.
18-1075, 10245 Okeechobee Boulevard, Echo LLC.
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, order finding repeat violation, assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures.
Oh, I love to see snipe signs. All right, you have a signed green card, you have service. Yeah, the snipe signs usually rat out their owners.
This has been out of compliance for 40 days at $125 per day, so we'd be asking for a $5,000 fine and continuing.
5,000 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 18-1246 is being pulled. 18-1158, 330 Business Parkway, 191111 Cube FL Sub LLC.
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 4, pictures.
Service via signed green card is a wonderful thing. Pictures are down here at the bottom somewhere. Let's see. Ah, yeah. That's four-wheel drive territory there. How much?
This was out of compliance for 12 days at $100 a day, so we'd be asking for a $1,200 fine, not continuing.
1,200, no continuing is granted.
Moving to the violation hearings, 18-0734, 150 Valencia Street, Gary L. and Susan G. Pickett.
Okay.
Code section is 6190A and 94, driveway is staying in fence in disrepair. I'm sorry, driveway in disrepair and fence in disrepair. I observed this violation on 4/16/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Man, that RV has crushed that poor driveway. You have service. What do you want?
Compliance by 8:30 or the 9/12 fine assessment hearing, or a $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you. 18-0735, 124 Valencia Street, Benjamin and Rosalind Kincaid.
Code section is 2317, parking over the sidewalk. I observed this violation on 4/16/18, got the green card back signed, but not dated. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
The pretty truck with the pretty boat. Yep, pretty truck with the pretty boat. Signed green card equals service. What would you like?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 fine assessment hearing, or a $25 a day fine.
Granted. 7/26/88/25.
18-0737 common property, the estates Madison Green Royal LTD partnership.
Code section is 622, 108.4. Pavers were installed without a permit. I observed this violation on 4/16/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and got the green card back signed on 4/19. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Oh, this is just around the Madison Green Golf Course. Okay. They put pavers there? How fancy. What would you like?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 fine assessment hearing, or a $50 a day fine.
Granted.
18-0742, 132 Cortez Avenue, James W. and Jennifer Bassford.
Code sections are 622, 108.4, 6190A, and 6135. Drive, sidewalk, and structure stained, shutter closed, and structure built without a permit. I observed this violation on 4/18/18 and mailed certified on 4/18/18 and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Sprinklers are a wonderful thing until they stain your house. Should paint some faux brick on that side. Bless you. All right, what would you like?
And this one, code section 622-108.4, which is structure built without a permit, is a finding of fact.
Okay.
For the remaining code sections, we'd ask for compliance by 8:30 or the 9:12 hearing, or $25 a day fine.
And this is 8:30, 9:12,
25, yes, sir.
Granted.
18-0743, 116 Malaga Street, Keith Davis.
Oh, Keith again.
Code section is 6190A and H. Structure is stained and shutters are closed. I observed this violation on 4/18/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Keith and I have a similar truck. I wonder how this is going to affect his credit when you finally find this guy. Yes, service, what do you want?
Compliance by 8:30 or the 9:12 hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you. 18-0751, 120 Sherwood Drive, James and Judy Binns.
Code section is 6190A and 2318B3. Drive and sidewalk are stained and parking on the lawn. I observed this violation on 4/19/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. But they're really neat otherwise. You have a signed green card, they are parking on the lawn, they are having stained stuff. Is 8:30?
8:30 or 9:12 or
25, granted.
18-0866, 62 Fairway Lane, Melanie, Korea.
Code section is 622-105.5. Permit for shutters has expired. I observed this violation on 5/2/18. Now the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, permit information.
All right, so with Melanie Korea, did you see any shutters installed? Just curious. No? Didn't? It's a 17 permit, I was just
They
like.
have an open permit, which they're aware of. They've spoken to me, so.
8:30, 9:12,
Yes, sir, or $25 a day fine.
granted.
18-0870, 2928 Bella Rosa Circle, Chet R. Josie and Rashka Oja.
Code section is 622-105.5. Permit for place out has expired. I observed this violation on 5/2/18. Mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, permit information.
So, okay. Signed green, or affidavit of service equals service.
Finding of fact.
Finding of fact on this one?
Yes.
Finding of fact on this one is granted.
Next, 18-0873, 167 Miramar Avenue, Dimitri Dumergant and Jeanette Narcisse.
The code section is 622-105.5. Permit for fence has expired. I observed this violation on 5/2/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, permit information.
Affidavit of service is service. You can proceed.
This is a finding of fact.
Finding of fact is wonderful. Someone did something, yay.
18-0920 confidential record, Gerald A. Chaparro.
Code section is 622-108.4, 2657, and 740. Construction was done on the canal bank without a permit, and a gazebo was also constructed without a permit. I observed this violation on 5/15/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. Whose boat?
We have the boat.
Village has a boat?
Yes.
Very nice. Okay, I like the boat ride because I see all the boat ride stuff from there. And it's like, oh, yeah. All right, what do you want?
Compliance by 8:30 or 9:12 or
25? Granted.
18-1061, 119 Conisconk Circle, I. Ju Chen.
Code section is 14-4A, disabled unregistered vehicle. I observed this violation on 5/31/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
Solara, this is a Camry for women. Okay. It's a two-seater, or the two-door sporty Camry. All right, you have a service via posting. What would you like?
This is a finding of fact.
Finding of fact is granted.
18-1063, 159 Bilbao Street, Nayland Ruby.
Code section is 2318, restricted trailer, not parked to code. I observed this violation on 5/31/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, no screening there. That's a Chevy owner. What do they know? All right, signed green card equals service. You have
Finding of fact.
finding of fact is granted.
18-1139, 117 Cordova Circle, 117 Cordova Circle Land Trust, and Chris Grave Trust.
Code section is 622-108.4, work was done without permits, air conditioner, doors replaced, siding was all done without a permit. I observed this violation on 6/13/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Well, you can definitely see that.
They got permits for everything, so it's.
That's good, because they look like they got a new AC unit, and they put, this is why you never buy wooden houses in Florida. You know, Vinny, across the street from me, he replaced every bit of wood on his house with hardy board, which is what you put in bathrooms, because it's water resistant or waterproof. All right, signed green card equals service. What would you like?
Finding of fact.
God, all that said finding a fact earlier.
18-1149, 200 Cordova Circle, Resi SFT Sub LLC.
The code sections are 1557 and 6190A, high grass and weeds, and drive and sidewalk and structure stained. I observed this violation on 6/14/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
I just got a spare drive belt in for my John Deere. He needs it. All right, you have service. Is this
They're
a
finding
finding of
fact.
fact?
Yes.
Wow, you're doing real good on this page. There's one, two, three, 4 in a row, and one at the bottom. You only have 3 more to go.
18-1167, 2093 Reston Circle, Bart Kaplan.
Code section is 6190A and 144A.
That's spoilers.
Structure, drive, and sidewalk stained and disabled unregistered vehicle. I observed this violation on 6/18/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
They don't make Saturns anymore. So, I take it it's not a finding of
That's
fact.
correct. We'd be asking for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
72688, 25 granted.
18-0836, 1102 Chorus Way, Robert A. Freeman.
Code section 06190A1, the structure is stained. I observed this on 4/26/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/26/18 and were signed for on 5/4/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Signed green card equals service.
In this case, we'd be asking for compliance by 8/30 or the 9/12 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted, 839, 12, 25.
Thank you.
18-0857, 11949 Park Central, Erica Michelle and Anthony G. Swan.
Code section is 622-105.5, permit expired for electrical. I observed this on 5/1/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/1/18 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, permit information.
All right, service via posting is good service. What would you like?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
At
It's
the
a
top
new
of
permit.
18-0880 is being pulled, 18-0882 is being pulled, 18-0900-819 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, Margarita I. McPherson.
Code section 6/135, 15/141, 06/190, A1 and 5. All house numbers are not posted on the structure. Sidewalk is stained, grass growing over sidewalk, and hedges not maintained and full of grass and weeds. I observed this on 5/11/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/11/18 and were signed for on 5/14/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Someone lives there. They signed for stuff. They
Yeah, they
park there. Okay. And they don't like edgers. I just bought another edger like 2 days ago. This is like redo your entire yard stuff every few years. All right, on this
And
one?
this one, code section 15-141, which is the stump, is the finding of fact.
Oh, okay.
And then for the remaining code sections, we'd ask for compliance by 8/30 or the 9/12 hearing or a $25 a day fine.
Say 3912.
Yes, sir, or 25.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0945, 11845 Balsam Drive, Juana M. Machado and Orlando Pease.
Code section 06/190, A1, 3, and 5, the sidewalk and driveway are stained. I observed this on 5/16/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were signed for on 5/16/18 and were signed, it was sent out on 5/16/18 and signed for on 5/23/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Signed green card equals service, and we're doing fine, although, what is, Honda, what do you have a picture of the Honda, just for the stained stuff?
We'll be asking on this one for compliance by 8/30 or the 9/12 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
Wish I had a stamp. It'd be so easy.
18-0953 is being pulled. 18-1006, 1185 Grandview Circle, John H. and Vesma M. Thomas Sr.
Code section is 9-1, fence installed without a permit. I observed this on 5/21/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/22/18 and were signed for on 5/29/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, signed green card equals service.
And this one be asking for compliance by 8/30 or the 9/12 hearing or $25 a day fine.
I wonder how well all these fences will hold up to the next hurricane.
Yeah, no more hurricanes.
All right, 8:30?
Yes, 9/12 or
Got
25.
it. As long as
Thank
you
you.
start me off, I can figure it out.
18-1015, 10891 Dalmani Way, Kevcar Estevez Investment LLC.
Code section 12-4C, garbage can in public view. I observed this on 5/22/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/23/18 and were signed for on 5/25/18. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, signed green card for service.
Oh.
Okay, someone must have complained about that one. It's behind a fence, but it's chain link.
This one would be asking for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
726-8825, granted.
Thank you. 18-1022, 11602 Oleander Drive, Auberge Jean Baptiste.
Code section 15-132 and 15-143, bare spots in the swell and the yard. I observed this on 5/23/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/23/18 and were signed for on 6/1/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Notice of violation.
I'm sorry. I don't remember.
All right.
What? Yeah.
We have hot people here, we have cold people here. We just have a heck of a time regulating our temperature as a group. Okay,
This one, we'd be asking for compliance by 8:30 or the 9/12 hearing, or a $25 a day fine.
if it keeps raining, it'll probably fill itself in, granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 18-1038, 11868 Balsam Drive, Balcarone and Diane R. Ramsumer.
Code Section 06190A1, structure is stained. I observed this on 5/29/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/29/18 and were signed for on 6/6/18. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right. Green card signed equals service. We've got a tarp on a roof. We've
We'd be
got
asking
structure
for
strain.
compliance by 8:30 or 9/12, fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-1059, 106 Hemingway Court, Marguerite McCormick.
Code Section 622108.4, work done without a permit, drywall, et cetera. This was observed on 5/31/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/31/18 and was signed for on 6/19/18. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures. Those pictures were taken by the sheriff's office.
So if someone's in there squatting, or?
No.
They're fixing
Those
drywall?
pictures were actually taken back in December, I believe. I'm not quite sure if that's the correct date. But there have been people working there now, and we don't have access to get in, and we do have those pictures, so we went forward with it.
Okay. It looks clearer. Someone's been removing things. All right.
We'd be asking
8:30
for,
or not?
yeah, 8:30 or 9/12 or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-1621 is being pulled.
Thank goodness.
18-0645, 168 Park Road North, Yvonne C. Belafonte and Thomas A. Roberts II.
Code section is 06190A1 and 2. I observed this violation on 4/2/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/2/18, and I met with the owner on 5/30/18. I'd like to know those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have an affidavit of posting. A little mildewy. All right, would you like?
Compliance by 8:30 or the 9/12 hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0824, 1034 Sonata Way, Linda K. and Ariel R. Hermosa.
Code section is 2657, sheds in the setback area. I observed this violation on 4/24/18, sent out a notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/25/18, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, ES400 permit information.
All right, so it's on the side of the house, probably in the side setback.
Yes.
Got it.
They have applied for a variance, so
Oh,
they are
okay.
working on getting it done.
So are we gonna, if they've applied for a variance, we're gonna do this at 8:30, or we're gonna do this at 9 something? Because they're trying, I mean.
Yeah, we were gonna ask for compliance by 8:30 or the 9/12 hearing, or $25 a day fine.
You know, if we could get the order finding violation, and then do a status.
Okay, well, let's just start out with
Status.
let's just do the violation order right now.
That's what Linda said.
Or does she want to do a status/fine assessment
Yeah, we could, yeah. so
on 8:30, 9/12/25? All right, we'll call it status/fine. You have choices.
Yeah, because Kevin Irwin said that it's probably gonna take until December to get her through the variance process.
Right, and if she's
So as
already
long as she
applied and
keeps
going through
moving,
it's
then
all
we'll-
good, yeah.
We'll work with her, but if she quits the process, then we're
Then
gonna
we're
have
gonna
to
be able to
do
find
a
her.
compliance date at some point.
Good, well, you have one
So
now.
there will be no compliance date in this order. It'll just be resetting for status/fine.
On 9/12, okay. Status fine 9/12, no 8:30 date on
So
it.
we need the
Except,
violation.
but we need a finding of violation. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Violation found.
Okay.
You can word it how you like.
Yeah, order finding violation, yeah.
Yeah, order finding violation, but setting a status conference. Or order finding violation and setting status conference.
Got it.
Whatever. It's all good.
Next is 18-0843-1043 Moonlight Way, Jose D. Ortiz.
Code section 622, 105.5 and 9.1. Funds for the permit has expired. I observed this violation on 5/118, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/118, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information.
Oh, 1 second. $830.17, 2618, 425.18 still out. Was thinking, was that the hurricane? Another hurricane one?
No.
No, just whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so this is 830, 912,
912 or
25, granted.
Thank you.
18-0854 is being pulled.
And that gets us off this page.
18-0927 10364 Serenade Lane, James B. and Alma Long.
Code section 14.4 and 14.2, and 2318B, disabled vehicle parked in the backyard, miscellaneous items. I observed this violation on 5/15/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/16/18. Got the green card back. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
What was that a frame to? It's a car frame
A
or
truck.
a truck frame?
Truck frame.
Yeah, okay. Finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0929 1034 Serenade Circle, Julian Derlis.
Code section 1557, 06190D, 06190A1 and 5. High grass and weeds along fence, sidewalk is stained. I observed this violation on 5/15/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/16/18, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
The first picture was not good. The sidewalk looked nice. The second and third looked horrible. You made up for it. 8/39/12/25?
25, yes, sir.
Please.
18-1016 100 Houston Court, Corey C. and Geraldine Bach.
Code section is 9.1, fence without a permit. I observed this violation on 5/22/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/23/18, and I received it on 5/25/18. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Gorgeous fence.
Nice fence.
It's a pretty fence. You see the fence?
Just need a permit.
Very lovely fence. All right, 8/30/9/12?
Fines by 8/30/9/12 or $25 day fine.
Mm-hmm. I'd be proud of that. I would permit that thing.
Next, 18-1035 103 Mallard Court, Jean C. and Marie C.
Code
Prenelin.
section.
Sorry.
Code section is 06190A13. The driveway is stained. I observed the violation on 5/26/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/29/18, and received it on 6/4/18. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right. Sign green card to service, 8/39/12/25.
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-1143 131 Sunflower Circle, Indira and Ravi Prasad.
No service?
Oh, sorry, 18-1143 is being pulled.
Yay. 'Cause we're almost to the
18-1156 430 Business
education
Parkway,
switcher.
Wilco Electrical LLC.
Code section 2316A and 15132, vehicles are not facing flow of traffic, swell being used as a parking lot. Parking along drainage easement, grass is missing from the drainage easement. Linda Walker observed this on 6/15/18, the notice of violation, and notice of hearing were mailed out 6/15/18 and were signed for on 6/19/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Signed green card equals service.
We'd be asking for compliance by 8:30 or the 9:12 fine assessment hearing, or $75 a day fine.
Yeah, I believe in parking in the shade. All right, what were you, 8:30, 9:12, 75?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Park in the shade, isn't that a Florida thing? Not how close you are to the public, it's how shady your spot is.
Next, 18-1169, Median Waterway Plaza, Jess R. Santa Maria Trust.
Code section 15-141, 15-132, 15-57, 12-53, 12-54, and 12-56. The median off Royal Palm Beach Boulevard is not being maintained. It is full of weeds, hedges, and unhealthy, and debris is scattered in the median and in the drive access. Litter is in the island and drive aisle. Linda Walker observed this on 6/18/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 6/19/18, and second. Oh, it wasn't. She got the green card back, but it isn't dated. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
The undated green card is service. That's where I get my Kentucky Fried Chicken? Your racetrack, or is it?
No, it's by Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, by Dunkin'. Oh,
It's in the
okay.
middle.
No, got it. All right, would you like
Compliance by 7/31 or the 8/8 hearing, or $25 a day fine.
731, 88, 25 is granted, and the rest of the page is denied. Well, most everyone. And then we have, anyone else on mitigations that we're doing, or are we just skipping the people that didn't show?
It's just skipping the people who didn't show up. Moving to the health and safety one-time abatement hearings. 18-1181, 149 Galliano Street, Gamelina C. O'Brien.
Code section is 1557. This is the health and safety for high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 6/20/18. Mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified, and posted them on the vacant lot. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, this is four-wheel drive high. I wouldn't even have put it in low for this one. So, affidavit of service is service. You want an order abating?
Yes, you have an order before you requesting a one-time abatement, which captures the village's cost of $286.
The 11th day of Julie. Signed. Next.
18-1258 is being pulled, 18-1259 is being pulled. Now we're to the rescinding orders. 18-0759, 151 Granada Street, Kevin A. and Jacqueline W. Rodriguez. Stella Clean Details.
Granted.
Yeah, we're asking.
They're rescinding and
Have
vacating.
the order before you.
And it's
Rescinding the
being
previous
granted
order.
and signed. Anyone wants to rescind anything can go right ahead.
Next, there's an addendum.
No, there's not. Well, I don't have one.
Here, I have an extra, I'll give you mine.
Give me an addendum with my one
There.
case on here.
It's a
One case addendum.
business tax receipt
Wilco.
hearing.
Oh, these are the guys that park in the shade. Right?
Case 18-1157, 430 Business Parkway, Wilco Electrical LLC.
Code section 16A and 16-1, operating a business without a business tax receipt. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 6/15 and were signed for on 6/19/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, Royal Palm business tax print.
All right,
For now.
you have a signed green card thing, so you have service.
We, in this case, would be asking, compliance would mean obtaining the new tenant inspection and obtaining the business tax, paying the BTR license by 8/2, or appearance at the 8/8 fine assessment hearing.
Or how much?
No fine.
Or no fine? New tenant inspection by 8/2 or appear at 8/8.
Correct.
Granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No, sir.
Right.
What?
Yeah, so I bought a riding lawnmower used, and then I had to go buy another weed eater